Hello, everyone, and welcome to Easy Allies Resident Evil 4 Impressions. I'm Michael here. We're joined by
Brad Ellis.
And we are going to dive in. Spoiler-free discussion, but any information before I play it, I consider a spoiler, so proceed with caution as you do.
Yeah.
Let's get into this. Brad, the moment has come. Resident Evil 4 Remake. A remake of one of the most beloved video games ever made.
I'd say so.
Tall order, high expectations, riding a pretty good wave of momentum with Remake 2, Remake 3 issues there, but then, Village and 7. How are we feeling right now?
When they announced this, I remember everyone was freaking out.
Yeah.
Game doesn't need a remake.
Yep.
Doesn't need it.
That's what I said about 2.
And while I think the original 4 is very good, very good, very playable still today, feels a little old in some ways.
Yeah.
This feels very different in good ways.
Yeah.
Gameplay ways. Like, moving Leon feels so much better now.
So nice.
The new tools that Leon has feel completely different than the original. Like, the thing with this game is, in a remake, is it knows what the original game was.
Yeah.
So much, and it respects the original game so much, but they just add new tweaks to it.
Absolutely.
To just make it feel more modern and play better.
Yeah. Like, Remake 1 has the Crimson Heads and the, burning the bodies mechanics. Remake 4, I can't go back to without that now in Resident Evil 1,
Yeah.
Now Remake 4, the knife.
Just more going on all around.
The freaking knife.
The knife is so good.
Yes.
It's my favorite, one of the best things I think they've added this whole game.
Absolutely. Just timing the parries right. When you parry them, you can get some sick stagger in there, opening up for a melee attack.
Yeah.
And the durability I love.
Yeah, me too.
Just having to manage the knife as a resource.
Yeah, it's smart.
Because when you don't have that knife, you're vulnerable.
Yeah, you feel vulnerable.
Some pitchfork freak will come at you.
Yeah.
You're trying to get the hell out. Maybe you can't go left or right. They're coming right at you. You have no bullets in your gun. You don't even have time to reload.
Yeah.
All you could do is parry the thing.
Especially when you play on some of the harder difficulties, I guess.
Definitely.
It felt way more important, this knife. I was at moments where I was like, am I going to take the hit? Do I want to take the hit here to save this knife for maybe a more catastrophic moment?
Yeah, yeah.
So it was just an extra layer of depth and resource management.
Absolutely.
That I needed from this series.
Me too. I loved it so much. I think it just... Not only that, then you have stealth mechanics too.
Yeah, the stealth is so nice.
Being able to just sneak up.
What's great about the stealth, dude, is it doesn't feel like it breaks the game either.
Totally.
You
can't Evil Within 2 and just stealth kill every single enemy in an area.
I'm sure someone's gonna figure out how to do stuff like that.
But
it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. When you get a stealth kill, it feels good.
Yes.
You're like, yes, I got one off. Feels nice.
And then also, too, just how just nice it flows. You're talking about Leon's movement, Brad, but dude, for example, you'll parry someone, spin kick them into the wall, they'll hit the wall, and then you can run up and get a knife finisher, stab them in the throat.
Yeah.
They go down.
Yeah, I do love that addition of them coming freaking out on the floor.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, I gotta stop this, but it's gonna cost me knife durability. But it's if I don't, it's gonna cost me a lot of ammo. Absolutely. And especially when that's going on and you're surrounded by other people.
Yeah,
you're just it's what made the original great is not necessarily the threat of one, but it's the encounters it puts you in with multiple enemies often. And just managing all that, because you see the knife parry. And when you're doing a guy one-on-one with that kind of thing, easy peasy, no problem parrying stuff. Yeah. It's just when things get out of control, things start escalating. That's what the game is so good at. Sprinkling on a little more tension.
Yeah.
You got this one thing you got under control, and it's just a little...
Yeah.
A little extra element for you to think about and deal with.
100%. The Village. Iconic location.
Oh, yeah.
And it just looks
great.
So good.
Yeah, the game looks great.
And like Remake 2 and 3, you know, some of this stuff is like, it looks so similar, like you've been there, but it's also, like you were saying, just like, they respect it, but they do their own thing, kind of.
Yeah. It's not like 1-to-1, which I think's great, you know?
Yeah.
You should do your own thing.
Yeah. There's, like, the blue medallions are back.
Yeah.
In the village, you shoot them.
Yeah.
The blue medallions, you get some rewards there. There are additional side quests that we can't talk about, just little tasks you can do. Like, one of them that we're allowed to talk about is, like, find a golden egg and then sell it to the merchant. And then, you know, you get a reward and a currency. You can then spend that currency on something else. I just think there's so many interesting choices in the game at every single moment, Brad. Choices of... do I pursue this side quest in this situation? Do I use my knife parry? Do I sell my treasure or wait? Do I craft this resource? There's just non-stop choices all the time, leaning into that survival horror vibe.
Yeah. I also think the game flows really well.
Yes.
Like, from encounter to encounter, the amount of time you're given to breathe, I guess, and just, like... take a knee.
Yeah.
It's all laid out so good where I never felt like it didn't feel like weird where I was like, this is like a weird gap between encounters. Everything feels so spaced out, but the game constantly keeps throwing like new scenarios at you, and not necessarily even in just like the enemies you're fighting, but how the environment you're fighting is laid out.
Yes.
Which is also what the original does, but this just kind of escalates it to a new level.
They keep throwing new obstacles at you, new surprises. Brad, you nailed it, because, you know, Resident Evil is known to be so replayable.
Yeah.
You know, speed runs and unlockables and just
time.
all that. This remake just, like you said, there's no downtime. And the downtime is like cozy, comfy. You're always doing something, thinking about something. Like I just replayed through Remake 1, and like sometimes, you know, my brain will just kind of go on autopilot as I need to like, okay, I gotta go to the save room to put this away, but then I gotta go do that to grab that and come back. So it's like you load up like 5 things you need to do in your brain, and Resident Evil, you're like kind of autopilot doing it, and like not.
Yeah, this game's just about, a lot of it's just on the fly.
Yeah.
Because, you know, do an encounter, you die, maybe, you kind of reevaluate, you're like, okay, what can I do about this time? Maybe you have a different idea to handle it, but then something else happens that you didn't expect.
Yeah.
So that throws everything else off.
Yeah.
It's great. I love it.
Yeah. It's so good. Huge part of the original game is, you know, being Ashley's bodyguard.
Right.
Protector. And that obviously returns in this game.
Yeah, of course.
You know, you buddy up, and I actually really like these sections, Brad, because you're talking about just the way the game is laid out and paced and lets you breathe and stuff. And obviously, you know, just like the original, when you're alone, Leon, it's a different vibe than when you're with someone, you know? You just have to play a little differently, which I really appreciated. And, you know, no weird AI things here, no BS, like, you know, escort missions kind of freak people out, like...
it feels much better in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I did not feel like Ashley was nearly as close to as an annoyance or burden, I guess.
At all.
Like, dealing with these things. She felt much more capable of being out of danger herself.
Yeah. Yeah, there's basically 2 modes. It's like, stick close to me when we have to move, and then you can be like, hey, keep your distance.
Yeah.
So, like, kind of go... just get away from the enemies.
Yeah.
And, like, it's really smart, really easy.
Yeah.
Really good. The knife comes in handy yet again, you know, just picking people off.
Yeah.
Really good stuff there.
Yeah. I do like that when she's getting carried away, you can stab guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
Super great. Even just more ways to deal with it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. The castle.
Yeah.
Fucking iconic location.
Yeah, it looks so good.
Just one of my favorite locations.
Yeah, it's one of the best.
In a video game. We're not going to go into too many details about this. I just wanted to bring it up that it's there, you know, village, castle, other shit, you know. I'm worried about the spoilers, but again, this is a reimagining. I always like to throw that word out there because, like, it takes the template of the original and honors it, expands upon it, but also some things can get taken away. You know, nothing as severe as Resident Evil 3's clock tower.
Not even close.
Not even close. But there are things that we won't talk about right now, but there are things that you may lament as a diehard fan that has gone through Resident Evil 4 20, 30, 40 times, like so many of you out there have. So yeah. Overall, Brad, how do you think the combat of Remake 4 compares to the entire franchise? Because for me, not to color your take here, to me it's the best in the whole series.
Yeah, I think about it. I suppose it is. I feel like in 4, as Leon, you're almost a little. We've played the game a lot, you know. So there's a lot of ways to. It feels like exploited almost, or like some things are way more powerful than they should be. Like the knife is like so insane
in the original
game.
Yeah.
How many times shoot them in the leg and they fall down, you stab them? Like, it's like
the meta.
So much of that. And Leon is very capable in this game, and he should be. You know, he's at a different part from when he was in Resident Evil 2. You know,
Government
he's like trained.
agent,
Yeah, he's all that stuff. He's very capable. He has a lot more going on, like obviously a roundhouse on people. One thing I love is sometimes the roundhouse, you could tell if it'll kill them right away.
The sound, the
hear,
crunch.
like their neck snap.
The crunch, dude.
Yeah. It's really good. But yeah, he's super capable. It's not like Resident Evil 6 in the sense where you're diving like Max Payne, you know, and like laying on your back going, you know, you're not playing. Yeah, you're not doing anything like that. Thank God, because that's too much. But you know, Leon's capable, but so are the enemies you're fighting, you know?
Absolutely. And that's the biggest thing that I always bring up. Anytime those comparisons are brought up, it's all about the scenarios of the fights, you know?
Yeah.
Resident Evil 6, I always bring up the gun shop. You just stand there, and they just like come in a couple windows.
Yeah.
It's so dumb.
Yeah.
It's so boring. Like, all the flashy moves in Resident Evil 6 you don't need to do whatsoever.
Yeah.
And anytime Leon is being flashy here, it's grounded, it makes sense, believable. And yeah, just all the enemy compositions, different enemies, different, you know, verticality, if you will. Just it's a beautiful playground.
Yeah, it is.
One of the last things I want to talk about is the treasure, Bradley Ellis. I am obsessed with economies and Resident Evil treasures.
Yeah.
And I love what they did here so much because now you'll find certain items and you have 6 types of gems total. There's 3 and there's 3 different colored round ones and 3 different colored square ones. The only overlap is there's a red round one and a square red one.
Yeah.
So there's 5 colors, but 6 different types of gems. When you find items, some of them will have open slots for you to slot the gems in, and then depending on the colors you use, so like 1 red, 1 yellow will give you less money than 2 of the same color. So I absolutely loved this because it just leans into those choices you make throughout the entire game of like, I was in so many situations throughout where it was like, I don't have any money. I really want to upgrade the damage of this. I have this treasure I could sell, but like I'm 1 or 2 away, colored gems from, you know, a nice full set here to make a bunch of cash. Do I sell it now and get a good amount, or do I just wait? Like, it was just, I love the treasure throughout.
It was fun.
There's a good amount. It doesn't overwhelm you.
Yep.
Hunting for it was always fun. So I just a big shout out to the economy in all aspects of Resident Evil 4.
Yeah, definitely.
Anything else you want to briefly mention, Brad, before we go? We're not getting into any story here whatsoever.
I guess
nothing.
Like, we've beaten, and a lot of people who are going to play this game have beaten Resident Evil 4 so many times. So many times.
One of the most replayed games ever.
And I felt I had so much fun going through this game. It was one of the games in a long time where I was like thinking about playing it all the time when I wasn't, like when I couldn't play it.
Same.
Like we'd have work or something like that. I'm like, dude, maybe I should wake up earlier. Maybe play a little bit. Then I was like, no, I gotta play at night and settle in for a while. I don't want to play like an hour here and there.
Yeah.
It was such a fun ride. I think if you enjoyed the original 4, you're gonna have a great time here. There's a lot to love. Some things are different, but I feel like a lot of the stuff they changed is really good.
Yeah. They honor the legacy.
Yeah, they do.
Big time.
Big time.
And I think they definitely heard the concerns from Remake 3, the cut content. So do not fear. Resident Evil 4 is here.